Living-Tacoma while you turn off your sound so we can enjoy this evening together without a disruption. Our musician tonight, our fabulous musician tonight, I should say, is Mr. Terry O'Hara.
Thank you.
And our audiovisual team is Erik Perrohe, not to be confused with Hercule Perrohe, and Mr. Ronald Edens. Our practitioner this evening is Laura Lee Bentle, and Pam Migliozzi is holding the high watch of consciousness back in the back. Tonight's message will be given by Reverend Karen Linsley, our interim minister. The Center for Spiritual Living is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. At the core of our belief is the existence of a single source, which we call God or Spirit. This Spirit inspires, guides, supports, and nurtures our individual awakening and our day-to-day reality, as well as forms the foundation for our beloved community. This loving consciousness desires only the highest and greatest for creation and our own good. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. And with that, I'd like to invite Cindie Leitman to come share a special Hanukkah blessing to honor the 8 nights of Hanukkah.
Thank you. So tonight is the 7th night of Hanukkah, and what I'm going to do is light the 7 candles. This is the shamus. This is the candle that I'll use to light all the rest of them, and then I'll sing the Hanukkah blessing. Oh, and the menorah and the candles are a gift tonight from Reverend Francis. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvoto v'tzivanu lechalek ner shel Hanukkah. Amen.
Let's just enjoy this moment of silence as we remember that we're in the darkest time of the year. But in that dark time, we know the light exists and the light is coming. So let's just have a minute of silence to take the joy of light into our lives. So we're here this evening to honor the season of light and the nurturing of that light, both individually and collectively. And we want you to know that the Tacoma CSL practitioners, spiritual coaches, are ready and willing to help you navigate solutions to change and transformation within your life, utilizing spiritual practices and affirmative prayer. After our Sunday services, there's a brief prayer circle. And also, you can contact any of the practitioners, which we have on the back table back there, for individual information and needs. And you are welcome to join our Taizé service here tomorrow at 10:30. Taizé is a form of meditation with music and readings for our very own members. And Reverend Karen will also be here to lead the service. Next Saturday, you're also welcome to join our New Year's Eve service on December 31st at 6:30 p.m. And then stay for a game night on New Year's Eve. And we'll also be having a New Year's Day service as well. And also keep your eye open and look out for all the great activities and classes we have coming up in the new year. And so with that, I'll pass it over to our good Reverend Karen.
Well, good evening, everybody. It is so nice to be here virtually, and it is so nice to see all the lovely decorations and hear the music. The Menorah blessing was absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much. Hold on for one moment. I need to put the dogs out.
I'm going to help her out. While she lets the dogs out, we'll let the joy in. She's back. Okay.
There we go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to be quiet. They were quiet until I started speaking. So I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Solstice, Happy Hanukkah, season's greetings. Oh my goodness, so many ways to greet everybody at this time of year, so many ways to spread the light. If there's anybody online watching via YouTube, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. And welcome to all of you in the sanctuary, the absolutely beautiful sanctuary this evening. And I do want to talk about light tonight. And Doug was kind enough to bring the light up. And I've been thinking a lot about light the last few days. And I've been thinking a lot about how to spread that light. You know, we're doing a ritual this evening. In a little bit, we'll do a candle lighting service. And we're going to do this ritual to spread this light and to feel this light in our own hearts, to feel the consciousness of what light is. And I tried a little experiment on solstice about spreading the light. I usually do a solstice ritual, and I didn't get around to it, but I was out in community on solstice day, meeting some friends for lunch, and I decided that in order to spread the light, I was going to smile at everyone that I met. And I can't tell you how good that made me feel. I made a conscious effort to smile and have that smile reach my eyes, not just give it lip service, but actually feel the smile and the joy. And I smiled at everybody I met. And it's been a while since I've done that particular exercise. It made me feel good. And I was having lunch in a restaurant with these friends of mine, and as we were leaving, I saw a woman in a booth next to us. And she was sitting there, and she'd been there for quite some time. And she had two menus in front of her, one in front of her and one on the other side of the booth. And it was fairly obvious to me that she had been waiting for quite some time for someone to show up who wasn't showing up. It looked to me like she was getting stood up for her lunch date. She did not look happy. And so I smiled at her. She didn't smile back. And I smiled more, and I beamed at her, and I coaxed a little smile out of her. And then she said, I like your Christmas sweater. I felt like my job was done that day. Even if this woman had been stood up, or even if her lunch date was late, I made her smile. And I got a little greeting out of her. We can spread the light in so many ways, and that was just one of them. And we also have many, many cultures that celebrate this light, all in different but equally valuable ways. As we saw and heard earlier, we have Hanukkah, we have Kwanzaa, we have Christianity, and then we have New Thought, us, which in my mind kind of takes a little bit of everything and wraps them all up into a nice, neat little package of principles that we can use in our own lives to enlarge our own light and manifest our dreams. And I looked at the meaning behind Hanukkah, and Hanukkah means dedication. So as the candles on the menorah were being lit and the beautiful blessing was being sung, I went within for a little bit to dedicate my life to spreading as much light as I possibly could. Now, we could dedicate ourselves to any task that we wish, but that's what Hanukkah means, is dedication. Kwanzaa celebrates family and community and culture, and they do this using the principles, there's principles here of unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. And I got to thinking about these principles, and I got to dream and imagine applying these principles in my life on a daily basis. What would it be like if you imagined these principles of unity? And there's a lot behind that simple little word, unity. The principle of self-determination, the principle of collective work and responsibility, the principle of cooperative economics, the principle of purpose and creativity and faith. What if we took some of each of those principles and lived them, embodied them in our lives on a daily basis? I got to thinking about that, and my light just got even bigger. I felt it grow. And I got to thinking about our beloved science of mind, elevating what can be a very simple thing into a wonderful, mystical, metaphorical illumination of our bigger selves, our Christ selves, encouraging us to nurture and strengthen our interconnections with this light, also known as the Christ within each and every one of us. Because the Christ is not a person. It's a thing. It's a way of being. It's a consciousness. And the light represents that Christ consciousness. So as we practice this ritual this evening called candlelighting, we can use the metaphor of the light as Christ consciousness. And when we light that candle that we hold in our hands, we can move consciously into that Christ consciousness space. We can take that time while the candle is lit and reflect. We can celebrate. We can be reminded of what is really important in our lives. It's so easy to lose touch with what's important in our lives. So incredibly easy. We can be reminded of the values and the principles that are important to us as individuals and illuminate those values this evening as we light our candles. We can remember that each of us, each and every one of us has that Christ principle within us. And we illuminate that as well, knowing that we are each a unique manifestation of spirit. The principles of Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and New Thought are illuminated and enlarged from the illumination of the Christ principle within each one of us. And tonight we celebrate and we honor those principles. We remember that light isn't just a bulb or a candle or a string of Christmas lights or even the shining sun. Light is so much more than that. Martin Luther King Jr. said that only light can drive out darkness. And he was right. But we must remember that we are responsible. Remember that principle of self-determination and shared responsibility in Kwanzaa? We are responsible for turning on the light. And we turn it on in ourselves first. We be the light. We show up in the world with loving kindness and compassion. We be love. We be faith. We be as little children enjoying all the aspects of this season. And we carry that joy, that light in our hearts. And as we move out into the world and into the new year, we continue to carry that light and we share it everywhere we go. So as we light our candles, we can think about how we are showing up both for ourselves and for our community. Are we being kind to ourselves and acknowledging our own light within us? Are we using the principles of Kwanzaa to bring us to a place of personal self-awareness so that we know what we are really dedicating ourselves to when we incorporate the dedication of Hanukkah into our lives? As we light our candles, we can reflect both upon the physical beauty of the light as well as the metaphorical beauty. We can bring that beauty into our own lives. I am told that there's a song to be played now by Terry. And once Terry is done with the song, I'm going to ask Greg to come up. I'm going to ask Doug to come up and talk about the process of lighting our candles. And I thank you for participating in this evening. And know that simply by your presence here tonight and on this planet, your light is a valuable presence in this world. And I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season.
I'm sure you all know this song, so please sing along if you like. Hope you do. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the one I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Thank you, Terry. So we'll now begin our candle lighting ceremony. Ushers, if you would please dim the lights. And after the large candle is lit by our practitioner, Laura Bentle, ushers will start at the back and let you know when your row can come up to the center aisle to light the candle. Light your candle with the large candle up here in the front, and keep your light on until the music stops. Remember to always hold your candle upright when it is lit, and when your candle is not yet lit, you can tilt it to receive the light. So let us begin our candle lighting ceremony. shines in each one of us. We are truly brothers and sisters in God in spirit. So thank you for being here this evening. We're going to have an offering just before we close. So you can extinguish your candle. So now it's time to have our love offering, as we like to call it here at CSL. And I'd like to ask the ushers to come forward and join me in saying our blessing together. So together we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and laugh yourself a merry little Christmas.
Thank you. So now I'd like to invite our practitioner this evening, Laura Lee Bentle, for our healing prayer.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you for your spirit, and thank you, Reverend Karen, for your beautiful words and the beautiful music that we heard tonight. And thank you all for being here. And if you care to close your eyes and just take a deep breath. I know there is one source, one heavenly Father, one God that is just in me, through me, and around me. And I know that. I know that for myself, and I know it for each and every one of you. The joy, the light, and whatever is going on in each and every one of you, know that your faith, your joy, the passionate hearts that each and every one of you have are able to sit and be with it and grow. Continue to be who you are, knowing that there is nothing to fear. There is no fear at all. I am just so honored and blessed and grateful that these words are being shared, the words that I heard, the light. Let us walk in the sunlight of the Spirit, because that's all there is. So I'm grateful. I release these words. I bless these words into the beautiful law, into the love, the universal greatness. And with that, let us say, and so it is. And so it is.
Shall we ask Terry to maybe do Silent Night again as a closing song? We were so good at it, why not?
But everybody has to sing.
Everybody has to sing, yes.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is
Thank you for joining us this evening, and may you all sleep in heavenly peace. It's there for you. And see you tomorrow, 10:30 here. Be well, dear friends.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.